Hello, this is Measurement Relationships 8.3, Surface Area and Volume of Prisms and Pyramids. Now, the surface area is the amount of material required to cover a three-dimensional object completely. So it essentially is, if I want to make a box, how much cardboard would I need? So what is the exact amount of surface that needs to be covered? Volume, however, is how much space a 3D object occupies, whether it's full or empty. So think about it in terms of a cube. A cube occupies three-dimensional space, so a length, a width, and a base. So both of these are kind of interconnected. And we're talking about two types of, I guess, objects, prisms and pyramids. Pyramids we're fairly familiar with because, well, the ancient Egyptians had been making them or made them 3, 4, 5,000 years ago. A prism, however, can be kind of a rectangular kind of box, or it could be like half of one, kind of like a triangle that's kind of elongated to one side or not. So we're going to look at both the area and volume of a prism and a pyramid. So the area of a prism is the base area times its height. The area of a pyramid, however, is 1/3 the base area times its height. So it would take 3 pyramids to kind of fill up one whole prism. First example, I want to find the surface area and volume of the following object, and I'm just going to make kind of a basic pyramid. And get this. So, not the best drawing in the world, but you get the idea that this is a very regular pyramid. So let's pretend it's equal on all sides. So, I know that the pyramid is 30 meters along this side and 30 meters along this side and the back, because these are kind of squares down here. And I also know that the height, the total height from the center all the way to the center of the base is going to be 20 meters. So I want to find the surface area of this pyramid. So let's break it down into its requisite objects. At the bottom here, which I'm coloring green, I have a square. So if I'm trying to find the surface area, it's going to be equal to kind of the length times the width of the square. So it's going to be equal to 30 meters multiplied by 30 meters. I also have 4 triangles. 1, and on the back side here is 2, 3 on this back side, and 4 on the front. So these guys are all the same, and I have 4 of them. So plus 4 times the area of my triangle. So it's going to be the area of the triangle, which is the base, times the height, divided by 2. So in this case, it's going to be 4 times 30, which is my base, meters, times 20 meters divided by 2. And I'm multiplying it by 4 because I have 4 identical shapes, so 4 identical triangles. So first thing, 30 times 30, 900 meters squared. Now, the 4 and the 2, so these guys kind of cancel out, and I'm left with 2 here. So 2 times 30 is 60, plus 20 is 1,200 meters squared. Add these together, and I get 2,100 meters squared. So that's the entire surface of my pyramid. Now, what about volume? Volume is a little different. As we saw before, the volume, well, it's going to be equal to 1/3, redo that, 1/3 my base area, which is actually this right here, the area of the base. So this kind of green and red area, that's my base. So my base area times my height. So my volume, 1/3 base area times the height, move this guy over, will be equal to 1/3 my base area, which I already figured out to be 900 meters squared, times my height. Oh, well, that's 20. So 1/3 of 900 is 300 meters squared times 20 meters gives me 6,000 meters cubed. So my total volume inside my pyramid is 6,000 meters cubed. Now let's take a look at one more example. In this case, let's make it a prism. So let's say I have a prism, kind of one of these half prisms like this, and I'm just going to extend it like so, go down, and on the back, kind of form another triangle like so. It's a right angle triangle here, and I know the length of kind of this hypotenuse here is 5, I can say 5 meters. At the bottom it's 4 meters, and this long stretch here is 8 meters. So if I want to find my surface area, I'm missing one key piece of information. I don't really know what my height is. Not really sure. But since this is a right angle triangle, and I know my hypotenuse, and I know my A, or adjacent, I can figure it out. So I'm going to use Pythagorean theorem. C squared is equal to A squared plus B squared. Well, I'm actually looking for B, so C squared minus A squared will be equal to B squared. So I have 5 squared minus 4 squared equals B squared. 25 minus 16 equals B squared. 9 is equal to B squared. Both sides, 3 meters is my B. So 3 is my missing height. From there, it's pretty straightforward. For surface area, well, I have to count how many surfaces I have. Well, I got this triangle here, and I got its cousin back here. I got kind of this base down here. I have kind of this flat area, that's kind of like the part of the triangle here. And my last one, I kind of got the back side here that we can't really see. So I essentially have 4 different types of area. So surface area, I'm just going to add them all up. So my area for one, well, I have 2 of them. Well, that's good. And area of a triangle is base times height divided by 2, which in this case, you can just sub it in, is 3 times 4 over 2. Then I have my second one, which is the bottom, which is 4 times 8. Erase this. And my 3 is my back one, so I have 3, which is kind of this side, times 8. So that's kind of this back part here. Oh, that's actually the number 4. So I'm just going to, I made a mistake. So number 3 is actually the flat part, which is, I'm going to put this in, I'll make it green here. That's number 3. So that's 5 times 8. And the back part, which I already did, is 3 times 8. Make that proper. So put these all together. Well, straight off the bat, I notice, hey, my 2's cancel out. 3 times 4 is 12. 4 times 8 is 32. 5 times 8 is 40. 3 times 8 is 24. So add them all together. 12, 32 is 44. Plus 40 is 84. Plus 20 is 104, 108 meters squared. So that's my surface area. It's all the surfaces added together. My volume is slightly easier. I'm just going to erase part of this. My volume is the base area times the height. But since I have kind of this triangular prism, well, I'm just going to have to divide that by 2, just like any triangle area. So my base area is going to be 4 times 8. So that's the bottom. My height is 3. And I'm just going to divide this all by 2. This is meters, meters, meters. Well, 4 times 8, 32, times 3 is 96. Divided by 2 gives me 48 meters cubed. And that's my volume of my prism. So a couple of basic formulas to remember, but otherwise it's going to be pretty straightforward.